Alrighty, Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It's Saturday somewhere, that's for sure. All right, we're just waiting for the stats for this morning. Here they come. Retail sales and Let's see. The expectation was Dow's up like 100 points, and we'll bring up that same thing as we did yesterday. How, during the webinar they drive it down from the news, and then I said, don't worry, be happy. If it's only down 1 or 1.25%, it's just background noise. And sure enough, it was, and they drove it back up again, just just usual. Let's see, where's the sales? Where's those numbers at? Where'd they go? 1%. Sales are up 1%. They were just a little bit stronger than expected. And so, hey, Robin, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So, yep, that's retail sales. Nothing major, just a little tad higher. I really don't have a lot of confidence in a lot of these stats anymore, in the sense of that they have that much to say. I think that's like exactly what Janos tried to tell us a long time ago, that you really can't trust the numbers anymore. They just you can trust them. It's just that they don't have the staying power. I think that's what it really comes down to. There is no conviction, no confidence to follow them more than for a few minutes, a few hours, and they walk away from them. So that is where we're at. Now, let's see. Who do we have up there? There is the European natural gas. But let's get the dollar in there to start off with, unless someone wants to look at European natural gas at this moment. Where's the dollar index? Right. It's around here somewhere. There it is, dollar index right there. Still green. But notice on J4X, the fast-moving stochastic has dropped underneath the slow. So there's some pressure on it. And when we come over to Chicano, where's it at? Chicago Corp. Or as when I used to work for Chicago Corp, we used to call it Chicano Corp. And that's where it is right there. You can see, where's a little weakness? There's a little weakness. It's down a little bit, the dollar this morning. You can see our math is still holding up in that buy from here. Weekly buy doesn't look like it's going to be pressed down too much here. And we did see the euro drift underneath yesterday, the par. So June retail sales 1 point compared to estimated at 8.08. June imports up 0.2 versus 7 estimated. Ouch. You would think with a strong dollar, the June imports would be rocking and rolling. Year over year, 8.4. I saw the year over year from yesterday's, or from 2 days ago now, the PPI and the CPI. They're talking 17% inflation at the moment. Year over year. Ouch. 17, not 7. 17. It's like smack a doodle. Indeed. All right. What else can we show you here? So there's the dollar index. You can see that. You can see they're trying to roll over on J4X. And we see ourselves having a red dot here at the moment. And we'll probably see something like that start to generate over on J4X as time goes on. So now, from there, let's see, what do we look at? We go to, let's take a look at the euro. Let's do that. Let's check out the euro. And let's see, Mr. and Mrs. Euro. There we are. There's the euro. It's trying to climb into a buy today, and you can see the line is crossed over. Obviously, the weekly is not removing itself from the sell at the moment, not even close. I'd like to see this green line get up, at least start touching the white bars or something like that, What else we got going on here? Let's see what it looks like over on J4X. There it is. Still red, but it is turning up. You see that? It's been doing that for, I don't know, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days now. It's been trying to turn up from the 103-ish area. So we're seeing some pressure on the upside here, but not enough to take it too serious. Hey, Metho 2000! Guten Tagen! Good morning to you. Indeed. And what else can we say about any of this? At this point in time, it's just kind of like spiraling out of control, just going sideways. I was saying to somebody this morning on the telephone, yes, I was talking on a telephone, and said, isn't that amazing? I've never seen such anticipation on the elections. Never. Guten Tag. Yes, indeed. I was. What was I? I saw. I was at the Vincent van Gogh exhibit in Philadelphia yesterday, and some of his paintings reminded me of Birkeland. So, in the turn of the 18th century going into the 19th century, there was a lot of play with the Birkeland current in art and so forth. It was very impressive. I could see that characteristic. In Ingleet, good morning. In Ingleet, in English. And Birkeland was a Danish scientist who kind of identified the currents, the way they function, electrical currents, and you can see it in Vincent van Gogh's paintings. He was definitely in tune to that, and he must have had some good day to you. Yep, not good morning, good day. That's right, Tag, and lived with a bunch of Scandies. I guess it was about 40 years ago now. For about 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, something like that. And so, it just kind of, it's funny to see, like I was at this art exhibition of Vincent van Gogh for, 4 hours. Yeah, I was there from 11:20 to almost 3 o'clock. So, it was very insightful. And I could see a lot of physics in his paintings. He's really interpreting the actions, and so, and then I kept on thinking of Birkeland currents and what people had been thinking about back then. Good day. It is a good day. And Guten, I imagine, would be good, right? Guten. I remember we'd see the Scandies come out of their nests. They'd say Guten Tagen, and I'd be like, Guten Tagen. It was in the morning, so I always took it as a good morning to me. What else can we say about that? I guess that's about it. Because that's what our math is all about, is the way of reading Mother Nature. Now, from there, let's jump over to cable and see what the cable's doing this morning. There it is. There you can see pressure on it on the J4X. Let's see what it looks like over in Chicago Quant. Right there. It's lifting up a little bit. It's a little plus too. But it's not, the math is not turning. The math is still underneath. And that weekly just keeps on going. Gone. Doesn't let go, does it? And then, what else we got going on? Let's take a look at the Swiss. Let's see what the Swiss is doing this morning. Right there. There you are. You see the strength there, but again, the green line has broken the slow-moving stochastic, so it's been trying to tell us for a couple days that there's pressure here. Now let's check it out on Chicano. There it is right there. Ooh, they're pushing it into the sell this morning, even with a volatility, a red and a green below the zero line. Pressure is on, and we can see the weeklies dip down too here at the end of the week. It's kind of interesting. We can actually put the cute little circle up there. Right there. Huh. Interesting stuff there, you know. It is, I don't know. I just have a hard time with this such a strong dollar all the time. I mean, it's got to back off. I mean, there's no reason to not believe that it's going to back off. I mean, I don't expect it to fall hard, but, you know, I mean, we are the engine of the world. Now, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 190 points since the news came out. So, I guess, let's see, what was it? It was stronger than expected. I interpret that as inflation, but the Fed, you know, some in the money market, in the financial markets, may interpret that as the Fed is going to tighten one more time and then walk for a little bit. They're saying that they're expecting a 1% increase now, not a 0.75%. That's what the markets are interpreting. So I guess you could see with that type of action, you know, well, the end result is that, I don't know, how else can we say it, is that does the Fed have staying power to keep on raising rates? And we say no. I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. So we'll just sit and watch and see. See if they do the 1% on, what, the 26th or 27th, something like that, of July, which is about 2 weeks away. And then from there, we'll kind of see what they do. Actually, it's like, I guess it's like 2 weeks to Thursday or something like that. Let's see. I like the dollar. The euro, 1.1, easier for trading in Germany. I would think so. That makes sense. I mean, you know, it would be neat if it's stuck around the 1. You know, 1 to 1. It would make more sense. But, you know, it's pretty cool, too, to have a 1.1 or something like that. 1.1 to 1 point. You know, it's so hard to say. I just see it as just a basic currency situation at this point. I don't take it much more serious than that. You know, I mean, the dollar is just so strong. I guess what it comes down to is that, unfortunately, Europe has not raised the rates like they need to. That's what the problem is. And so, you know, the United States is raising rates, so it kind of opens the doorway for a stronger currency. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. Europe really can't afford it. I saw yesterday Draghi, you know, resigned, and the president of the country refused to accept the resignation. So I don't know what that's all about, in the sense that, you know, I guess he was just trying to say, you know, I guess they feel like he's really blown the economy up. I mean, he hurt Italy when he was European Central Bank chair. So why they even made him the prime minister is beyond me. But that's the politics, you know. What can you say? All right. What else can we say about any of this? All right. From the Swiss, let's slide over to the dollar, Turkish lira. Right there. Italy has a lot of problems. I would say most of Southern Europe has a lot of problems, you know. Well, didn't they call them, didn't they label them as the pigs at one time? Pigs. So it was like Portugal, Italy for I, PI, G, Greece, and S for Spain. Didn't they have a lot of problems, right? You know, they started referring to them as the pigs. Do you remember that? They need more money than they have. How about if they just stop spending money and cutting down on the government regulations? Maybe that's the real key, really, is to stop interfering with commerce. No rain. Oh, okay. Refugees from Africa. No rain. You know what the best thing they would be is just stop, pressing everybody with issues. Let freedom ring. Let people trade. Let them do business. All they do is regulate. Regulate. I mean, that's detrimental to everybody in the end. You can see here the Turkish lira on the dollar side of it, dipping down just a little bit. But it's really inching its way towards that 18 again. And that weekly is not letting go, as you can see down at the bottom right there. And then let's go over to Euro Turkish lira, which is kind of like the real currency. The other one must be like the investment currency. Right there. Germany is too strong in industry. Yeah, because the rest of the countries won't allow industry. They got to lit it. They got to let them have business. They all got this socialist twist going on all the time. They just need to walk away and let people be free. Free people, free markets. No free people, no free markets. How can you grow, Now there is the Turkish lira, right there, on Chicago Quant. 3 days in a bind, going nowhere. Flirting still with the weekly sell, as you can see there. And then over on the J4X, you see that bounce with the green line over just 2 days. 1 day, 2 days, 2 days, 3 days. This is the third day. It's been pushing, and we're in green there, so it's really been trying to tell us that it wants to move back up again. That's just a combination of business and commerce. I mean, since they're located so close, to Europe, they're touching Europe. No wonder they, for years they've been trying to get into the European Union, and then they kind of backed off of it under Aragon. But for like a decade and a half, they were getting closer and closer, and they were in NATO, and it was like really becoming, part of things. All right, from there we go over to the Canadian. Let's see what the Canadian's up to. And there's Canada, and you can see the Canada's gaining a little bit against the dollar today. So does that mean that oil is up? More than likely. Let's put it up on J4X there. There's the CAD. Let's take a look at oil. There it is right there. That's August oil. It's up a little bit today. Trying to go back to the century mark. You see it's playing with the daily buy. But the weekly is still down, so that pressure is still overall on it. And we'll see how that's going as time goes on. From there, let's take a look at gold. There's gold. Gold is basically unched. And let's put up the South African Rand. South African Rand. Where are you? There it is. And let's put it up on J4X, the South African Rand, right there. And that's kind of doing the same thing, just a little nippy down, nothing major, just that little twist there at the moment. Tried to make new highs for the day, and it seems to have stalled out. What else can we say about that? Look at that. It's been in the daily buy for a while. And we saw gold go down. We saw silver. Did silver ever make it through the... let's take a look at silver really quick. I'm curious. Did it break the 18 yesterday at all? No, but got very close. Look at that. 1801. It just about touched 18. Oof. 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 And then let's slide back over to the currency. So there's the South African Rand. Trying to move down a little bit because we're seeing a little strength in the gold. Or firmness maybe, or they're just tired. And it's Friday, and now it's, getting ready to TGIF-ish. All right. From there, what do? We go from South African Rand to the yen. Let's see what the yen's up to. There's the yen. Made a new high yesterday, like a 28-year high. You can see here, today it's just a little nippy down, nothing major. The weekly seems very intact right there. The daily seems very intact right there. And there it is right there on J4X. Firm, firm, and firmer. Now, let's see. Let me see. So there's the yen. And I remember yesterday we were talking about this, how it was really choppy, and I forget, what were we talking about? We were looking at something. I was saying something about Shinzan Abe and how you just got to let it breathe for a little bit. Let's see. We're getting a little phone call here. Let's see who this is. Nobody in particular. So, it's been sloppy. Oh, I know what it was. The Nikkei. That's what it was. Who was it? I think it's 47 likes to look at the Nikkei. Let's see what the Nikkei looks like this morning. Because this Nikkei was really trading sloppy. Is that the Nikkei? No, that's not the Nikkei. There's the Nikkei. Here it comes. And so it's really battling, trying to get going here. It's in that weekly buy, and it keeps on fighting to get going. I don't know. Maybe it'll take it up with the rest of them. Dow Jones Industrial Average up over 365 points. I figured it's going to be the flip side. Monday we'll be talking about how the stock market closed unchanged for today or something. Maybe it'll stay firm. Let's see. Let's take a look at it real quick. No one seems to be caring right now, so that's all right. Let's go over to the S&P 500. What is it doing for the week? So there's Monday. Okay, there's Friday last week. It settled at 3,905. And we're trading 75 points lower. So it's down for the week still. And you can see it's playing with the daily buy right there. And the weekly buy is being flirted with also. So the movement. Now let's go back to the Nikkei. There it is right there. So that's last Friday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I don't know why it's showing us 6 days. It's showing us Sunday night separately. So there's Friday. And it's settled at 26,850. So the Nikkei is actually up for the week. It's in the weekly buy, so that kind of justifies that. Keeps on flirting with the daily buy. There's 2 days in a row with a red and a green. And being in a weekly buy, keeps on trying to lift up. One thing for sure is you don't want to be shorted. Don't be shorted. Who knows exactly what the policy shift will be after Shinzan Abe has been buried. He's already been buried, but we'll see who takes over and what they think, He was like the longest lasting prime minister they've had since World War II. All right. Where did we leave off? Oh, we looked at yen. That's right. We were looking at yen here on Forex. So now let's drift over to our southern neighbor, the peso, the Mexican peso. Kind of bouncing around it. Oh, there it is. It hit the what was that, the 0.23 on the way. Oh no, it hit the 0.776. That's what it did. It hit the 7.6, got through the 6.25, 61.9. That's 6.2, and now we're backing off a little bit. Maybe it'll bounce around on the 50 percentile, which is that green line. So it'll probably play with that for a little bit, and then the next thing you know, maybe it'll go back up towards the top end, go to the rest of the way to the top end of the range. Interesting. Yeah, the dollar is dominating everywhere. All right, from there, what do? We go, that's pretty much the end of the currencies. That is the end of the currencies that we normally follow. If anybody cares to see any particular currency, just give it a shout out and we will go look at it. Now, from there, I guess we might as well go back to the metals. There it is. There's the metals. Oops, excuse me. There's gold. It's falling off a little bit. Nothing major. Still in that weekly sell. Not looking like it wants to change its mind. Let's put it up on J4X. There it is right there. Same thing. A sea of red. Down, 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 down she goes. Where she stops, only the market knows. Then, from there, we go over to silver, which we already looked at, which almost challenged 18 even yesterday. There it is right there. And let's put it up on the Chicago Quad. Right there. There it is. September silver. Now it's plus for the day. It's trying to lift, but it needs a lot of work when it comes to our indicators. So markets just being themselves, just kind of stumbling along. Then from there, where do we go from there? Let me think. From there, we head over to, what is this? Go to copper, right there. And you see copper's feeling its little pressure here. You got to assume it's going to try to bang against the 3-2 and freak everybody out. Let's put it up on J4X. Right there. And there's copper, and it's, it's not really showing us any real buying on the weekly. Daily's trying. Playing Dionne Warwick on the Financial Channel. A little prayer for you. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Little prayer for you. La 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 la. Oh, I like that song. That was such a pretty song. There we are. For you. I've just typed it in, and I'm going to find that after the webinar closes. Aretha Franklin says a little prayer for you too. Interesting. And from copper, let's check out platinum. It's Friday. We'll see what the October platinum is saying. Here it comes. Oh, daily's trying to pierce up. That's interesting right there. Let's widen it out a little bit for you. But the weekly is not changing anything at all. And we're just on the edge of minus still. minus 20. 0.20. Minus 13. Minus 17. There's minus 17 again now. See how the box is changing? We're sitting at 17 from 20. Dropped down to 13. Now we're minus 33. So markets are just kind of stumbling around when it comes to the platinum. It's had a nice ride down from the sell, the weekly sell. And the daily sell went on for a while also. Somebody else is singing it now too. Yep. Ooh. Wow. Manchin comes out and says he's not going to do anything the Dems want. So, and Mr. Biden will be in Saudi Arabia over the next hour. So that is that. All right, from the platinum, that's pretty much finishes off our metals view. Diane for president. I agree. Do 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 do. La 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 la. See, I got to sing it because if I play the real thing, then YouTube will get nuts. So I can't play the real song. But it was fun to hear it in the background. All right, now let's check out the energies. Right there is Augie Doggy crude oil showing that strength just like we saw in the Canadian. Looks like it's trying to get into a buy. We'll see how that plays out today. And then let's put right there in J4X, we're going to stick the Brent oil up there and see what that looks like. The Saudis would give her all their oil. Oh, for Diana Ross? Yeah. Yeah, really. Have you followed that live or LIV golf? That's really cool. Making PGA, Professional Golfers Association, competitive, that's for sure. Yeah, Biden, he'll be lucky if they give him anything. You know, I figure they'll probably do something, since he is the American emperor, so they'll probably do something, something like, we're going to try to produce 250,000 more barrels. We'll work on it. That type of thing. That's the way I see it. All right. And so you can see Brent is trying to give us a little green also as we speak. You can see the green line turning up against the slow stochastic, and you can see here we've got a green bar generating. They buy Russian oil. What do you mean? Don't they use their own oil? The Saudis buy Russian oil. Do they really? Why would they buy Russian? What? Are they exchanging certificates? That type of thing? In other words, instead of having to transport it, they trade their oil for Russian southern customers, and Saudi gets certificates for the northern customers, and this way they save some transportation costs? Yeah, but what are they buying the Russian oil to do? I doubt they're transporting it to the country. I could see them supplying their customers with Russian oil, just to make the transportation cheap. Yeah, that makes sense. We do that in the States here when you buy from the COMEX to sell to Europe. Yeah, I see that. In the United States, what happens is that you can trade certificates for barges of oil and heating oil and so forth. This way you don't have to transport it, say, to Baltimore or Washington, D.C., or even Philadelphia out of New York Harbor. They call it New York Harbor. That makes sense if they're going to be trading certificates, that type of thing, yeah. But Biden is hungry for some production minus the United States. We have the ability to. They just won't do it. Now let's see. That's the front month, August. Let's see what back month, October looks like. Right there. You see it's lifting through. Also showing life, red and green. But the weekly is still down, 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 down. Oh, I have no doubt about that. I'm sure the Russians are doing their best to sell. They've been discounting all that oil. You know, if they get $75 or $85 a barrel, I'm sure they're happy. You know, compared to $20 and $30. I mean, hell, got to sell that stuff while people want to buy it. You know, sooner or later, America's going to be the number one producer again. And when that happens, it puts pressure on all the other countries. So I don't blame them when they try to sell it. I just blame them for trying to bomb neighboring countries. That is the irritating part. Now, let's take a look at nat gas. And you can see here, nat gas is backing off a little bit today. Just a little. And then let's see what it looks like over here on J4X. Where's that? Where's it at? It's right around here somewhere. There it is, right there. So it's at that 6.5 area. And you can see the little green hinky is kind of smoothing out. You can see the lines dropping underneath. We're still bullish here, but you can see it's just down a little bit. Now let's take a look at the natural gas in Europe itself. Where's it at? It was down in the 27s. I was really surprised. I mean, I really thought we were going to see... There it is right there, natural gas. It's back to the 28s. Okay. Yesterday when we looked at it, I thought, oh, man, they got to be like 28 and a half. And no, it was at 27.79. So natural gas seems to be stuck in that spot. I'm glad ours is down from $9, which is nice. For Europe, I don't even know how you can relate to that. I mean, the whole idea, it's trading at $28, same cubic foot as ours does over here for $6.50. Wow, you know, 4 times it's the price. It's amazing. You can thank Mr. Biden. He won't let us export enough natural gas to you to smooth that out. Now, from there, I guess that's about it when it comes to the energies, right? We did the 2 back months. We looked at Brent. We looked at natural gas in the U.S. and natural gas in Europe. So that's pretty much it. All right. From there, we go over to the stock indices. And there's the S&P 500. It's trying to lift up and play with the weekly and daily buy at the moment as we speak. We'll see how that plays out. Now, like yesterday, you know, when the news came out, you know, blah, blah, blah. I guess that's what you can really say is blah, 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 blah. The news came out yesterday. We knew it was going to be a bad number. Here's the, you can see the line. That's where it started yesterday. Okay? No, that was where it started on Wednesday from the first number. So yesterday, let's see if we can get lined up here now. Okay, so yesterday during the webinar, where's it at here? So during the webinar, the news came out. It was ugly. Let me put my glasses on so we can really identify it. That's 9 in the morning. It's still a couple hours before the webinar still. Or no, during the webinar. Okay, so I think it was like right there. News came out. It jumped up a little bit. I think it challenged the lows of the day before. Let's see, we have a line in there for the day before, so let's see if we can find it. And all I kept on saying is, don't worry, be happy. This market will find another way again to, you know, kind of bottom out. And sure enough, let's see, where is it at? That is, let me see now, that is yesterday, okay? And you can see it didn't even challenge the lows of the day before. And then, what we can do is go like this so you can really see it. Where is that at? I guess we're not seeing it. All we're seeing is the top line. So yesterday, during the webinar, let's see, where's it at again? Let's go back to the webinar again. And there's the webinar, so 3,760. And let me just put a line in there like that. And you can see here, they drive it down to there. And then you can see, they bounce around, get a little bit lower, but they don't take out the day before's lows. And then they slowly bring it back to it. There it is right there. So in a matter of a little under 2+ hours, they bring it right back again like it's unchanged after being down X amount. And then, let me do this. Now, why is it not doing it? Why are we not getting a reset? Let's try this. There it is. Let's see, what's going on here? There we go, that's better. Now, where did the bar chart go? I'm totally confused at this point. Now, where is the instrument? Let's see, settings. I can't, scaling, there it is. Screen, there we go. So you can see here, the product basically is climbed back up, and it did that. It just climbed back up. They do that, and they started playing with the 2 days ago number. That's all they did, and so that's the whole thing, is that these markets do not last any direction. Now, like right now, Dow Jones Industrial Average is almost up 400 points. It was just right a few minutes ago. It's at 359 right now. They cannot. Oh, what do we got here? Russian. Oh, okay. I just see Metho. I just looked over and saw Metho's all things and making sure I did answer that. So, in other words, this market is only doing one thing at this point. It reacts to the news just enough to make it feel like it's done something. And then from there, it goes to sleep and straightens itself back out again. If it was down, and it goes back to where it was down when it started off with. If it was up, same thing again. And that's how we are at the moment. And it doesn't seem to stop. And it's because the markets are anticipating a major change. And they're anticipating a good change or a fantastic change. And that's really what it comes down to, is the markets are anticipating this, and they're doing it at such an early rate. Notice they've been doing it for the last couple months, and it's like they just don't let go. I mean, they're just not letting it go at all. And, you can feel it. At least I can feel it every day. You can see the price action. It goes down 1.25%, 1.5%, maybe a little, somewhere in between all that. And the next thing you know, it's down 0.1% or 0.25%. It rallies back, and vice versa. Here we are. Let's put it up there. There it is, right there. There's the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Got up to almost 31,000. I mean, it was trading no more than a couple hours ago at 30,650. At the European Open, was trading at the almost 36,000 area. I'm sorry, 30,600. Now we're at 31,000. I mean, it's just, this market has no conviction to do anything but stare at the election. And what it does by staring at the election, it basically just chops sideways. So no one is being aggressive and liquidating, and no one's being aggressive and purchasing. It is stuck in neutral, which is really odd, you know. But again, I think the markets are anticipating something really good versus something that is really fantastically good. I mean, like orgasmic, like best ever, you know. So that's why we're stuck. If they were just expecting something good, they would trade that good. That's how I can interpret that. They would show us they expect good, and that would be it. But no, you can see that they don't want to make a decision. They don't want to commit capital because something really big could happen. They could get a veto majority. And they get that veto majority, wow. You know, like I said yesterday, you can basically send Biden on vacation. He'll resurface like, you know, once a week or once a month or something like that, and he'll have almost no presidency whatsoever. So they will be able to outmaneuver him in every way. Everybody is, you know, Metho. Everybody is. I've never seen it. So I said that to somebody on the phone this morning. I was like, I've never seen such an anticipated election before like this. I mean, I remember 1994 was pretty big. I was anticipating a fantastic, earth-shaking election, and we got it, you know. The marketplace didn't recognize it until about 3 weeks beforehand, and then boom, the markets were sideways like this for, I don't know, 4 or 5 months, and then all of a sudden, explosion, just explosion. So I see that now. They're doing the same exact thing. I mean, I was with the big Democrat on Friday night. Was it this last Friday? Yeah, it was last Friday. Last Friday, I was out having drinks and at a restaurant, a bar, more of a bar than a restaurant, with a major Democrat. Okay, and we even got a Trump hat on his head. It was a hoot. We got a picture of that. We threatened to blackmail him, but he was a major Democrat here in southern New Jersey and Pennsylvania. Big Democrat. And the one thing we both totally agreed on was we both can't wait to see how the election goes. I mean, it's, you know, just those numbers. You know, he's looking at the same thing as we are. He's not expecting any wins at all for his party, but he's like, I can't wait to see what these numbers play out. It's just, you know, it's like, you know, we want to see it. We want to see how it plays out. So, you know, it's going to be very interesting, and you can see the markets are already doing that. Natural anticipation. Okay. So, now from where are we at? We're on the Dow Jones Industrial Average. And let's see what the Tech 100's doing. There it is there. That's just cruising along, mild and steady. Nothing major there. So you got 38 points on the S&Ps. You've got up 351 points, 52 points on the Dow Jones Industrial Average, 350, 348, 347, 349, 345. Let's see, it's just action. ACT 352, 354. And then you can see up just a simple 100 and change, 99 there on the Tech 100. Let's put those up on J4X real quick on a day-to-day basis. And there is the S&P 500, and it's got a little green going, and the line's trying to turn up. The Dow right there, not green yet, and it's trying to turn up. And then last but not least, the Tech 100, and that's got a green also going and trying to turn up. Now, when we go and look at these three things on a daily basis, pretty much the same game. There is the Tech 100. It is flirting with that weekly buy. If it just goes out unchanged tonight, it's going to be in a weekly buy. The daily is flirting with a daily buy. We slide over to the the S&P 500, the ES. Same situation. It's flirting by just 3.33, 3.5 over the zero line. And the weekly is trying to get its little line over the zero line. Then we go over to the Dow Jones Industrial Average. You can see here on the weekly, it's trying to get into the buy, and it's just underneath on the daily. Now let's take a look at Bitcoin. You can see Bitcoin went into a daily buy yesterday. It's firming up. It's almost at 21,000 now. And you can see the weekly still been in that weekly sell now since the 40,000 area plus. 41,000, something like that. So we're down 50% from just the last 13 weeks. So the next thing is to see how they drive this, see if the cryptos, if they start to move a little independent from the stock indices. But I kind of say no, solely because you can see the other three stock indices are plus also. So, the Bitcoin, which is not a stock indice, but it's kind of odd. Bittercoin, yeah. I saw somebody this morning on the financial channel that I follow, and they were saying, it's one of the best investments, and they were like, oh yeah, but look, it's down like 67% from all-time highs right now. And he said, yes, but over just the last 2 years, it's up something like 600 and some odd percent. And then the person on the TV show is like, yeah, I guess you're right. When you look at it over a 2.5 year, 3 year period, it is. It was trading at 5,000. Now it's trading at 21,000. So over a 3 year period. So they do have the room there to say that. I always say that I thought that we've gotten to fair value down here in the 20,000 area. Between 17,000 to 25,000, to me, is the fair value range. 2 years ago, I remember from Guggenheim. One of my old partners is good friends with Guggenheim. The investment fund, and knows the guy that manages them. And you buy it at 12,000. Yeah, I hear you there. And they stepped up and they bought they were out of the stock market to a great extent, so they bought Bitcoin. They bought like $500 million worth, and so obviously it went from 9,000 to 70,000. Hopefully they sold out a good chunk of it when they got up to 65, 70,000. I haven't heard anything, but that would be cool. Yeah, you would buy it at 12,000. I hear you. I'm not really sure we're going to get down to there again, but we'll see. I mean, you got to figure, if it hadn't dropped from 71 or 70,000 down to 20 or 17,000, I would say yeah, maybe it would go find 12, but I think there's more of a floor in the teens. 16, 17, 18. I think there's more of a floor. I mean, I would be surprised if they take it down one more leg down to say, 10 or 11 or 12,000. That would be wow. I'll tell you this, that should scare a lot of the investors to the point where you would get that crush, that we call it throwing up, and they get that done, and then the next thing you know is that it's trading at 25,000 again. So that's how I kind of feel about that product, and I'm not, we've been totally right on it, so I'm not really worried about anything in it. At this point, it's pretty consistent. It stays with the what's the word I'm looking for? It stays with the trends of our math. It does a good job at that. So as long as it keeps on doing that, no problems. No worries, mate. Now the bigger question is, what do we label this webinar? How do we label today's webinar? What did we talk about today? We talked about all the currencies, nothing major there. We've mentioned how, the specific index stuff that comes out has not shaken anything at all. So, I guess what we'll call today is, what will we call it? We will call it, let's see, what should we call this title here? Yeah, let's see. Markets in let's see, title would be Markets in summer mode. There it is. Markets in summer mode. All right, traders. Happy trails to you until we meet again. That'll be Monday. So TGIF to everybody. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. All right, traders, we will catch you all Monday. This is Doc from North America saying arrivederci.